Hi, my name is Jeff. Welcome to DirtyShirt.info. I've got a 2001 2500 HD Chevy pickup truck that has an oil leak. I've been working on this problem for about 6 weeks and haven't been able to determine what it is. However, yesterday, with the help of my friend Chris, who does all kinds of work for and with me on the site, he really bailed me out yesterday. So I've actually found out what's causing the problem, so let's go take a closer look. This truck is a four-wheel drive and it has a transfer case in it. The transfer case it goes engine, transmission, and then transfer case to get all four wheels to circulate. It's coming from the transfer case, but I could not identify exactly where it was coming from. I could sit here and run the truck all day long and I actually couldn't see the oil leak. What I do see is that it's leaking like a drip, and it's just made a horrible mess of the driveway, and all of the oil has blown back to the rearward section of the truck, and the oil is corrosive. It's a transmission oil. It's corrosive and it's blown all over the truck, as I mentioned. It's starting to remove some of the undercoating on the frame and so forth, and it's really causing me some problems. And I was really nervous about having to do anything, more than maybe some light repair work on that transfer case, because these things are really complicated, just like transmissions are. And I was seeing dollar signs and so forth. So anyway, what Chris did was I took it over to his shop yesterday. He lifted it up on the lift. We took just an initial look at it. Then he started it up and put it into gear. He did both two-wheel and four-wheel drive. And while the truck was up off the ground, the wheels were spinning. We climbed underneath there and found a pinhole, actually in the case of the transfer case. He and I haven't been able to figure out what would have caused this. However, I'm going to take the camera here and slide under and show you. I've got a light set up and a little pointer, and let's see if we can try and show you exactly where this is at. As I mentioned, everything is just covered with oil underneath here. I'm going to wash all this down here in just a little bit while the weather is nice. Chris has marked the spot that's causing the problem with some yellow crayon. I'm going to point the camera up. The pinhole is right here, and it's just leaking just enough oil to cause all of this mess. And you can see the tranny oil leaking from there, and it goes all the way down, and then it just blows all the way back all over everything, particularly at highway speed. And as I mentioned, it's removing the undercoating, and you can see here's a drip of oil, and here's some undercoating that has just come off, because I've already washed this down at least once before, thinking I'd fixed the problem, and it just wasn't fixed. So that's kind of what we're into here. And it makes the truck look pretty nice, but you don't want your truck all covered with this stuff, that's for sure. So next step is to wash this down, and I'm going to use some JB Weld to plug that hole and see if that actually resolves the problem. Again, complicated matter to get this all apart. Thanks. Well, here's the JB Weld. It's actually a two-part component mix. It's equal parts steel, what they call steel, and what they call hardener on the tube here. And you take this stuff and you mix it up and create a sort of like a little, almost like a putty of sorts, and then take that and put that on your project, and it takes an amazingly long time to dry. It's like 16 hours to completely cure, so you have a lot of working time with the product, and that's what I'm going to put on that pinhole. Okay, so we'll go ahead and tie this one off. What I did was, before I put the JB Weld on, was I used a wire brush on a drill, and I cleaned the area before I put the material on it. What it did was it actually opened the hole up. So the casing was probably thin. Probably when it was casted, it had a thin spot or a bubble or something of that nature. So as far as I know, the JB Weld is holding it, and if I have to go another step further, I'll probably have it TIG welded. The casing is made of magnesium, so it takes a special welding process in order to plug it off. So thanks for watching.